be his triumphant hour. Aunt Charlotte had returned to town, and tonight he would meet her, charm her, and ask for her niece's hand in marriage. Susan would accept his formal offer tomorrow, and within a month he would be a wealthily married man, no longer subject to his father's rigid dictates and an object of amusement to the gossips. He would be financially secure for the first time in his adult life, and should be reasonably content. Susan was a nice girl, and he was sure they could get on well enough. But even though Stuart couldn't quite put his finger on it, there was just something wrong. He reminded himself that he was mad to reconsider now. He ought to be happy the plan had gone so well, instead of questioning the plan itself. If only it were done already, and he didn't have the luxury of wondering whether it was the right thing and not simply the least objectionable thing. He forced aside his doubts as the door clicked open behind him. Susan hurried forward, wringing her hands. "Oh, Drake," she said with a little sob, "what are we going to do?" "Come, my dear," he said in surprise, taking her hand. "What's the trouble?" "It's Aunt Charlotte," she wailed, gazing up at him with wet eyes. "She'll never let us marry. Never! She's a spiteful, dried-up old witch." Stuart's eyebrows shot up. "I've not even asked for your hand yet. How can you know she'll refuse?" "Because I hinted you were going to ask, and she told me she wouldn't allow it. She said terrible things about you, as if she would have the slightest idea, when she's never even met you. Please, Drake, please. Say we shall run away together. I'll go with you tonight. I will." "That would ruin your reputation," he reminded her. "I don't want to do that to you." "I don't care!" She flung herself on his neck, sobbing loudly now. Stuart patted her back for a moment, suppressing another sigh. Everything would be fine if only she'd let him handle things, instead of rushing off to bungle them by herself. What had she accomplished by telling her dragon of an aunt they wanted to marry? Nothing good. Now the woman had made up her mind against him, without even the courtesy of meeting him. While he still had every confidence he could persuade her. Elderly ladies were always impressed by a title, even a future one, and Stuart did move in the most elegant circles in London. It would have been far easier had he taken her by surprise. "Come, calm yourself," he said when the sobs seemed to be dying down. He extricated her arms from around his neck. "You must put on a cheerful face and go back to the party." She sniffed and rubbed her face with the handkerchief he offered. "A sad face is the least of my problems, thanks to her. I can't imagine what my papa was thinking, to make her my guardian." "None of that is within our control, so we must simply try to make the best of it. You promised to introduce me this evening. Let me meet her and see if I can charm away her doubts." "Oh, Drake," she hiccuped. "If anyone could do it, you could. But I think even you will find her as receptive as a stone." "Are you implying my charm can't touch a stone?" he demanded lightly. She smiled up at him, starry-eyed. "Well, perhaps. Come, I'll introduce you. And if she doesn't consent tonight, we can run away tomorrow." "Not bloody likely," Stuart thought as he chuckled for her benefit. He couldn't afford to marry her without a dowry, and it would serve neither of them to elope into poverty. She hesitated, then leaned forward slightly, her lips pursing in his direction. He almost recoiled in alarm, then recovered enough to kiss her lightly on the forehead. Her mouth turned down in disappointment. "Not until you are my wife," he whispered. "It would be improper." She brightened. Stuart felt another pang of misgiving. It was frankly embarrassing how quickly she had fallen for him. How open she was about her infatuation. It only served to remind him how young and innocent she was. He couldn't do it. He hadn't committed himself yet. He could still walk away. She would feel hurt and misled, as she had been. But he would still be free. Free to watch everything he had slip away. Stuart gave himself a mental shake. Oakwood Park needed only another year or two to become profitable, and Stuart refused to let it go now.